Hey everybody, I'm filming you from my lamp above my dining room table because I want you to be able to see what we're doing here. The videos this month are going to be a little bit more craft orientated. So let's get into this and see what we have. You should have left church with your Christmas box. The Advent preparation has something in it for every day leading up to when we celebrate Jesus' birth. All right, so first up, some of these things are popping out. We have instructions. You can read this. It tells you a little bit about light and what Advent is about. When you flip to the second page, it's got the verses all lined up. So today's Sunday, November 30th, we're going to be in the book of Isaiah. We don't talk about Isaiah a whole lot, and some of these verses don't usually go in the normal Christmas story, but that's okay. Everything we learn about the Bible, everything we learn about God's Word, connects to Jesus and why he came to earth in the first place and why he's going to come back to earth. These are all from Isaiah and Micah because this week is traditionally known as the prophet's candle. All right, so we're going to put this one aside. Up here, the second packet says Hope, the prophet's candle. There's a little introduction about this week specifically, and again, it repeats the Bible verses and some of the different crafts. All right, so in here, we have a glass jar. I'll tell you more about that later. Some paper and cinnamon sticks. This is going to be helpful later. We'll make an ornament scroll. A clear lid. Ooh, this is something we want to talk about today. This is a calligraphy brush. Bag, glasses, card. Here is something. You probably will not get both the bamboo stylus and the brush. You'll get one or the other. It just depends on your kit. I put both of them in this one because I wanted to show you. So, here's what we do. And there's other things in here. Oh, there's a journal. So you can start your brand new journal about Advent and preparing for Jesus. Or you can start off in a journal that you already have. I like putting collage and pictures, so I tore out this paper. To me, it looks like a candle. I'm gonna put the flame there and I'll glue it like that. To make these work, you are going to want some watercolor or some ink, okay? Oh, something you also have in your thing is a feather. And this is one of the ones that did not get a feather. So, back to our instructions. This page talks about calligraphy. Before there were computers, before there were typewriters, before there were stamps, people wrote by hand, manually. So this is where you get to explore. I have yellow watercolor. I'm gonna put some in there. And I have black ink. My handy dandy assistant, do you want to play with the brush or with the bamboo stylus?
Brush.
Okay.
Because I'm more used to the brush.
Yeah, you're gonna dip.
It isn't ink like the same thing that you see further in the glare of the sun. It's black.
It could be. So this is old India ink, and you can see chunks of ink in there, and I've got water in there to kind of mix it up. If you actually have ink at your house, you might need a grinding stone to grind that down. Okay. Yeah, dip it in there, and you're gonna want it to like stay long. Writing by hand is an interesting phenomena. When you write with ink, my ink is going to need to be a little bit darker to be seen on top of my dark background that I have here. Calligraphy is more than just writing. You're writing it a little bit fancy. I'm going to turn the page. Oh, it started bleeding through, and that's okay. Letters, especially the first letter of the first word, was sometimes done super big. That's okay. And it was done with flourishes, extra.
So can I just start drawing whatever I want?
Yeah, just start drawing. Play with the brush and how it feels, how it makes different strokes. What is tomorrow's verse? I'll write down tomorrow's since it's on the second page. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20 is what we'll be doing tomorrow. If you have the bamboo stylus, you have 2 tips on it, and either tip can be used. I'm gonna sneeze. Thank you!
Bless you.
Thank you. But see, this is what I was talking about with like the extra little flourish on some of the letters. It's called illuminated scriptures or illuminated writing, when they made that first letter super big and they would put gold flakes around it. Here's some other flourishes or double lines on it. So you can go around and play with this idea. I want to draw some extra little light beams. All of the verses we'll be looking at this month have something to do with God's light. And the feather will work just the same, or it should work just the same as the bamboo stylus. And this is something a prophet or a scribe would be used to doing. They would make their own out of the resources they had. Okay, I like my sunbeam there. One of the things I did to get ready for you guys was I went ahead and I did some of the verses already. So if I open up, this is the picture that I collaged. I looked at different magazines and found pictures of different people, because the verse in Isaiah, it says this: it will happen in the final days that the mountain of Yahweh's house, that's God's house, and I chose to do that with some shiny foil. Yahweh's house will rise above the mountains and tower. So I have some of this brown packing paper that I got in the Amazon boxes. I made the mountains there. It continues. Then all the nations will stream to it. They're all going to go up to God's house. House of Jacob, that's Israel. Let us walk in his light. So God's house and God's light is just shining from this mountaintop. And that's what I wanted to display in the picture. So have fun playing around with your calligraphy, making swoops, playing with how if you push down it becomes thick, when you pull it up it makes a thinner line. And there is no darkness where there's light. Wherever the light shines, the darkness has to go away. It's not allowed. It doesn't work that way, right? So I'll do a few of little squiggles down here, like the darkness that's leaving God's presence. And the prophets, sometimes they had messages right then and there for God's people. They had a direct message for the kings and the leaders that were talking and ruling that day. Often, some of their messages were for the future. And we know that this is one of those verses because it hasn't happened yet. Yahweh's house, God's house, hasn't come up from his mountain yet. Not all of the nations have streamed up to his house yet. So this is something that we get to look forward to happening, where we get to be with God in his light. And I think that is pretty cool. Have fun discovering more about God, his light, and maybe what it might have been to be a prophet, writing down these visions and dreams that God gave them. Have a great week, and I will see you later. Bye.